Hello and welcome to my channel, or welcome back. My name is Anastasia and this is GaiAna Ascended, and today's pick a card love reading topic is: what was this connection meant to teach you? What lessons are you learning, and what lessons is your person learning about themselves and about you and the connection as a result of meeting one another and whatever circumstances you have gone through with each other and separately if you are in separation. So this is: what lessons are you learning from this connection? Kind of basically what this connection was intended to bring into your life. I'm not sure how the title will come out when I upload this, but this was just a very spontaneous reading. Spirit tricked me into thinking I was not doing a public video. And it's kind of funny because I was actually going to make this members only, but it's meant to be a public reading. So I'll get to that members reading as soon as possible. I do have to follow my inner compass and my divine guidance here. So let's get into the pile selection. Today we just have pick a cards. I will be using the same deck for each pile, or depending, I'm just gonna go with the flow, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna use the same deck for each group today. So welcome, and I'm so happy to have all of you here. Hope you are doing all right through this Mercury retrograde season if you're watching this when it is released. And we just had a new moon, and it is the heat of the summer here in the Northern Hemisphere. So I hope you're staying cool and hydrated. And yeah, let's get into it. So for the pile selection, for pile one, you have this beautiful Prehnite cluster. I call it a temple. It's kind of a spiral formation. This enhances your intuition. It's a very powerful stone for psychics and healers. And you have the Grand Symphony card, number 27. For pile two, you have our favorite Amethyst point. This is a healer because it is chipped on the end. It's been through some things. It also is an archive stone because it has these little diamond shapes etched into it, and these all occur naturally. So it's considered an archive or a record stone. And you have number 31, Call of the Muse. And for pile three, you have this Flower Agate, which is one of my favorite stones. It's really, in person, there's a lot of depth to it. I'm not sure how much you can see that on the camera, and it even has druzy in some of these pockets. It's a very beautiful flower agate. And you have the Rose's Kiss, number 9. Okay, so if you're leaving me here, remember never to make major life decisions based on a general YouTube tarot reading. If the message doesn't apply to you, if it doesn't apply, let it fly away like a little bird or a ladybug. It's not your message. And yeah, you can choose more than one pile if you feel drawn. Just tune into your energy, take a deep breath, tune into the energy of your person. And the timestamps will be pinned in the comments, and they will be in the description as well, along with my email for personal readings. And I'll see you in your reading if you're leaving me here. And for those of you that want to choose by zodiac sign, for pile one today, we have Scorpio, Pisces, Sagittarius, and Virgo. For pile two, we have Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Well, lots of air signs, and Taurus. And that leaves Capricorn, Cancer, Aries, and Leo for pile three. Okay, so remember not to overthink it. You can choose by Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Whatever you feel is most aligned. You can choose by your or your person's sign. You could also choose by the moon sign that is currently during the time you're watching this, as this is timeless, or the sun sign, basically those two signs. But don't overthink it. Go with what you feel drawn to the most, even if a sign doesn't align with what you feel pulled toward, okay? And I will see you in your reading as soon as you are ready. Hello and welcome, Pile 1. If you chose this Prehnite cluster, along with the Grand Symphony card, number 27, or if you chose By Zodiac, we have Scorpio, Pisces, Sagittarius, and Virgo. Then this is your reading on the lessons that you are learning in this connection, why this connection was brought into your life. And yeah, so we'll get started. We're not doing grab bags. We're not doing pre-shuffled. We're just doing everything. It's a go with the flow reading today. So hummingbirds could be significant here. Someone could actually be in a symphony, play an instrument, a horn instrument, especially. This is also reminding me of those old, are they called gramophones? The old record players. So this could feel like there's something about the two of you that your energies are like interwoven. Like this is reminding me of the song Symphony. I just want to be part of your symphony. I can't remember the exact artist or title. I think the song is though Symphony. So you could feel like this person is kind of interwoven into the fabric of your life experience. You could share a musical connection with them in some way. Some of you may have been like in band, in school, that sort of thing. But it does feel like the two of you were meant to bring some sort of soul song to the planet. So part of what you are learning from this connection has to do with using your voice, bringing your soul song out into the world, and yeah, how you fit in the grand scheme of things, like your place, your purpose in the world. Yeah, like there's something here about learning about how to bring harmony into your world. You know, a cacophony of noise is like all the instruments just playing to their own beat, to their own rhythm, playing their own tune. And this connection is helping you to actually learn how to align with others. It's like it's helping you to find your place, your harmonious place, your role in the symphony of life, instead of going against it, and instead of creating noise or friction in your life. You're learning how to synchronize, how to synthesize, and how to align yourself with the path that you're meant to be on, and to work with others on the planet in a harmonious way. Okay, so you're learning some deep lessons here from this connection. Okay, so let's find out what. First, we'll look at you, and then we'll look at your person. So what lessons are you learning at this time? What lessons have you learned if you're not with this person anymore? What are the lessons that this connection has brought to you? What are your lessons? We have the Lovers. We have the Hangman. We have the Five of Swords. And we have the Ten of Swords. And we have the Seven of Cups. So, I apologize, the AC will be turning on. It's very, very hot here in Michigan. So we have Gemini and Pisces energy here. You are learning some very fundamental lessons around harmony. Again, this is the same message here. You're learning how to make the choices in your life that are right for you when it comes to love. You're learning how to choose your battles wisely, and you're learning how to communicate in a more loving way. This connection is a soulmate. This is a soul level, a deep, aligned connection. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you're meant to be with this person forever, but what this connection has brought you as far as lessons is lessons in communication, lessons in how to fight fair, how to respect and understand another person's experience, how to change your perspective when it comes to the way that you perceive love and relationships. This has a lot to do with you overcoming betrayal and healing from some pretty heavy, harsh lessons here. This is a lot about self-betrayal too. So you are learning how to align yourself with a higher frequency of love. And this is about healing from blame and shame and toxic relationship dynamics. You are learning lessons around betrayal and around dramatic, painful I'm hearing literally self-flagellation, which means like beating yourself up. And so you're learning some pretty harsh lessons from this connection, okay? And you're learning when to speak and when to hold back. You're learning that sometimes you need to pull your energy back, and sometimes you're the problem in a situation, and sometimes the other person is a problem, but no one is right all the time. You're seeing how you create your own suffering and your own pain in relationships by refusing to look at another person's perspective. And so you're learning how to heal and overcome an egoic way of relating to others. You're healing from fantasies, delusions, and some of you are healing from limerence. You're learning what right, healthy choices are for you. There's definitely a feeling of learning where you belong and overcoming unhealthy habits, fantasies, and attachments when it comes to love. Learning how to speak and think clearly when it comes to love. Yes, and work with others. So you're learning how to work with others and how to collaborate. So this is a very powerful lesson that you are learning about creating foundations and about stabilizing. And it requires compromise. It requires allowing others to help you and helping others. You are also learning how to forgive people for their flaws. You're learning how to heal wounds around shame, internalized shame, shadows. You're doing shadow work in this connection, and it may be pretty uncomfortable. You may have had to look at your own habits, your own attachments, your own addictions, your own behaviors. And if you haven't been looking at those, you have been repeating this pattern, either with this person or with each person that you meet. You repeat a pattern of creating illusions, delusions, experiencing conflict and communication issues, not being able to see eye to eye and move forward, and ending things painfully or having betrayal as the end result of the connection or feeling of betrayal or pain. But you are here to end that. It's the end of this. In this lifetime, you are here to change this pattern. This is a karmic pattern you are here to change. You are here to now surrender, to see other people's side, to live in a grounded reality instead of a fantasy. And you are here to end a painful karmic cycle in your soul's path, on your soul's path. And this person came into your life to help you to end that cycle, to manifest real, reciprocal, stable love, and to be able to build enough for yourself in your life in a tangible way that you have enough to offer others. This was teaching you lessons in building love on a fantasy instead of a foundation. This was teaching you how to be generous with others, to not be selfish with your abilities, with your, you're learning how to manifest in a grounded way. You're learning how to bring your dreams down into reality, to channel your dreams and, to coordinate. I mean, the magician is giving me like conductor energy. So you're learning how to coordinate your energies, how to work with other people's energies. And definitely some of you could feel that this is some sort of counterpart journey where you are forced to bring things into balance within yourself because you cannot stop fantasizing or dreaming or feeling this person, dreaming about them or seeing signs and synchronicities. So you are learning that you have to be the one to harness the power that you have on the material level to bring about what it is that you want in relationships, which means you have to overcome your own addictions, your own bad habits, your own communication issues. Some of you are learning that you have an unwillingness to work with others, and there's a blind spot that you experience that creates conflict and betrayal in your life. You betray yourself because you don't listen to your own higher guidance and you follow maybe sometimes fantasies or whims. So you're learning how to ground. you're learning a lot. Yeah, about your self-worth. This is a curiosity. This is a communication energy. When to speak and when to be silent. How to work with others. When to give and when to give to yourself versus when to give to others. You're learning about healthy power dynamics. You're learning how to overcome any sort of it's very much a humbling of your ego in some ways. And we all have it, okay? We all have egos, and the ego serves us. The ego gives us a sense of identity. It gives us structure around our lives. It helps us to identify who we are and what we like and what we don't like and what our dreams and fantasies are and what we're meant to be here doing. It's an identity, but the identity can take over and it can dominate, and so can the lower nature. And you're learning how to rise above those things, and you're learning about self-worth and learning how to take care of yourself. So you are learning how to take care of yourself, how to fill your own cups with real, tangible, grounded results from real effort in everyday life. You're learning healthy communication skills. You're learning to remain curious and to see yourself always as a student of life rather than someone who has mastery over anything. Every time you master something, maybe life has forced you back into the role of a student. It may feel like things that you build or things that you attempt or relationships that you attempt always end up in the same sort of painful cycle. And that is because you are learning self-worth issues. And you are learning that you can stand alone. You don't need a partner to take care of you. You don't need to manipulate or control. And that can come from a place of vulnerability, fear of vulnerability. You feel so vulnerable that you feel like you have to control things. Not everyone is manipulative in a malicious way. Some people, codependency itself is a manipulative behavior. We all have the ability to be manipulative, and we all have the ability to act on our lower nature, our shadow, and our addictions. Every single human being on the planet has some addiction or another. There isn't a special person who is free of that. If you really look deeply into each individual person and you see how society is structured, how people live, and what they choose, you will see that it is embedded into every culture some level of external gratification that is needed in order to make someone feel whole or worthy. You know, it's I need a partner, or I need an expensive house, or I need this nice car, or I need these clothes, or I need to get this degree. And you're learning that your value doesn't come from those things, that your value comes from earnest, like loyal, stable, reliable collaboration toward higher purposes and like working with others to create a better world instead of just working to create your own world where things feel good to you, where things are feeling good to you because you're able to stay in your comfort zone. And so you're learning that money, external things, and romance and these things are not necessarily at all where your worth comes from, although none of those things are inherently wrong, but you're realizing that your worth comes from within, and it comes from facing your own shadows, facing your own attachments, addictions, and learning how to work with others and learning how to tame certain behaviors, temperaments. And some of you have been betrayed repeatedly, or you have betrayed others, or you've repeated a cycle where it feels like you don't know how to fully show up for yourself or others. And so again, this is a self-betrayal message. And this isn't meant to call anyone out or call anybody a bad person, but you are learning some pretty intense lessons around integrity, okay? Yeah. And not withholding. There's something here about like, some of you are learning that you are struggling with some sort of materialism. And it doesn't matter if you're rich or poor. Again, we're talking about global systems and societies that teach us that our worth is monetary, or that our worth is something visible or tangible to others. And that is a big lesson you are learning, okay? So betraying yourself by having false worldly ideals around relationships, love, and also facing your shadow and your attachments. So this connection was a big deal for you, or is a big deal for you, okay? And if it is on pause, if you are not with this person right now, it is because you are still integrating these lessons. And once you integrate the next layer of lessons, you will be able to open up, and there will be forward movement and a chance to kind of dive in again. But there is a caution for some of you. You keep diving blindly into situations that harm you. And until you actually heal these deeper wounds and you face these shadows, you're going to continue almost, it's like you're falling into the underworld, that kind of energy. Where you're having to grapple with some pretty painful things because there's some level of blindness here. Being blinded by your passions, blinded by your fantasies, blinded by your dreams, or blinded by materialism, okay? And so you are learning not to let those things dominate or control your life. You are learning to control your desires, your passions, your obsessions. So romantic obsession could be something that you struggle with. There could be any number of things that you have struggled with. And you came here to end that cycle and to actually find happiness, to actually find fulfillment and happiness, not just on your own and not in a fantasy way, but in a real world way, where you actually are able to fulfill your promises to others, and you're able to fulfill your promises to yourself. So you are actually a very strong soul. Your soul chose to do this. This is just part of the dynamic of being a human, a soul in a human body. There's no shame, okay, at all. And something about taking time to really truly invest in yourself, and you are going to reap the rewards of this shadow work, of these investments, of this journey that you're on. And you agreed with this soul to go through whatever this is. So this particular person that we're going to pull cards for them. Whatever you're going through with this particular person, part of the lesson is not to blame them for whatever they put you through, because you guys agreed to do this. But you still are, you can hold people accountable. You do not have to excuse people's behavior. But when you see it in the bigger picture, in the grand symphony of life, in all of the ways that human beings have to heal and learn in order to ascend and to evolve into sacred loving unions, and to heal the planet itself, because the planet right now is very, very toxic. We're going through like a dark night of the soul globally. And so, this is part of the process. There's no shame in this. And as you learn to face these things in yourself and give yourself compassion, love yourself, have forgiveness, unconditional love with healthy boundaries with the people in your life, and this person, you will come out of it. You will gain that new perspective. You will finally put down the burdens of the drama, the conflict, the chaos, the pain, the attachments, and in some of your cases, it's materialism. You will actually begin to, you can come into alignment with this person. This reading is so heavily channeled, by the way. Spirit just kind of tricked me. I really thought I was doing something different, and I just started going with the flow, and I started setting up, and Spirit's like, whoo, just kidding. This is what you're doing. You're channeling this message, and this is your higher guidance. So I am also overcoming this kind of thing where I want to make a video because it's going to get clicks, or, I'm worried about doing topics that are niche, or I have fear that I'm not going to be able to provide because I've struggled with these things in my life, providing for myself or making impulsive decisions, etc., etc. Not valuing myself. And Spirit was like, yeah, but when you're fully in alignment and you're truly listening, none of that matters. You just go, you just open up, you channel, you do the work that's meant to do, you listen to your higher self, you listen to the guides and the angels, and amazing things happen for you and for the people around you because you deliver the message that's meant to be delivered, and you bring forth what your soul is here to do. And you're no longer worrying about all these external things. You're just creating, and you're just creating from an aligned place. So my personal story around creating this video today is directly related to what you are learning, which is to trust your intuition, trust your soul, to get out of mental conflict, to get out of mental anguish, to stop putting your worth, your value, and your dreams in a material lens without aligning with your soul first, and truly gaining perspective on what it is you're meant to be doing here, and looking at relationships from a lens of actual growth. Like, this channel is supposed to be Even though it keeps ending up, I'm helping you guys through your relationships. But the goal of this project from the very beginning, before it was even this channel, was to help human beings awaken from their pain, their suffering, and for them to heal and ascend to a heart-centered reality where they are grounding soul level sacred love onto the earth through their romantic and familial and friend relationships, through their loving relationships with one another. That's the goal. And so that is what you are doing. You are all doing it in your own way. Not everybody is going to have the same soul mission. And it doesn't mean that you're here to save the world like a martyr. You're not a martyr. You do not have to be a martyr to save the world. You do not have to be a martyr. But there is some level of healing from, self-sabotage, self-betrayal, recreating betrayal wounds, and escapism as well. So this person came in to teach you some really big lessons by being your counterpart, and by behaving in the ways that they do, they trigger things in you, and you both behave in certain ways that create a situation that forces you uncomfortably into a perspective that you would not otherwise choose without the level of intensity of the connection, because the intensity of this connection keeps you in a way tethered to this person's energy and forces you to learn the lessons, because you can't just walk away. You can't just tune it out. You can't just ignore it. It's literally blaring in your ears like a symphony, right? These lessons have to be learned. Your soul is like, I'm not giving up until you listen to me. This is what we're doing. This is what we came here to do. And this soul has this contract with us. This is your higher self and you talking, right? And we're going to do this, and it may not be comfortable. You may not like it, but the end result is heaven on earth. Ultimately, whether it's in this lifetime or another lifetime, I'm not totally convinced we're going to make it in this lifetime, but we are in an evolutionary process as souls on this plane. And so that is what you are here to learn. Whew. Whew. Yeah. Okay. So funsies. All right. So now, now let's find out what your person is learning. What lessons is your person learning from this connection? All right. What is pile one's person's lessons? What are their lessons? We have the Six of Cups. We have the Magician. We have the Three of Pentacles and the Chariot and the Queen of Swords. Your person is learning how to materialize their dreams as well, but in a different way. Your person is learning through your boundaries with them. You definitely have a soul level connection with this person, okay? There's definitely a soul level connection. This person is learning how to be generous. They are learning how to give of their heart. This person is learning how to, you're both learning how to work with others, how to collaborate, and how to ground soul level love in this lifetime. But this person is learning how to materialize and take action. So we have Cancer energy, we have Aquarius, Gemini with the Magician actually, but I said Aquarius, and we do have air sign energy here as well with the Queen of Swords. This person is learning healthy boundaries. They are learning how to be assertive, how to, this is very much like take action, take action. This person is learning how to take action in their life. So whereas you're actually learning how, in some ways, to pause. You're learning how to, in some ways, you're learning how to hold yourself back, how to slow down, how to, they're bringing me back to your energy. Because you're learning how to manifest and ground, and you're overcoming ego, and you're overcoming self-betrayal and all of these things. And you're learning through, for you, a lot of conflict, a lot of betrayal. And from this person, I do feel like for a lot of you, this person betrayed you, okay? I do feel that, but you can switch the roles. If this, if one feels like you more than the other person, take it. But what's going on here with your person or this person, is that they are learning how to, they're learning how to have healthy boundaries. And this energy isn't flowing as well. This reading was it just flowed right through me. This person is they're a much more grounded person. They live in a very practical, very calm, very this person's a very more grounded person. This is a more airy, up in the head, emotional, intense person who lives sort of in a fantasy and thinks fast and acts fast and moves fast. And this person is learning how to this is someone who's tends to be very stuck. They move very slowly. They tend to feel like they're very attached to their childhood. They're very attached to their foundations. And this person is learning how to let go of attachments to their childhood dreams, to their family of origin. They're learning how to grow up. So this is a younger soul, it feels like, or just someone who's experiencing lessons that have less to do with high vibrational, extremely spiritual, you're learning lessons in a different way. The chakra system of this person is much more practical and grounded. This person operates from more of a lower chakra, they're more physical, okay? They're in a very physical, tangible world. And this person's in a very emotional, very mental, very spiritual world. So this person is actually learning how to become more spiritual. They are learning how to embrace their soul, how to anchor their soul in their body, and how to let go of their childhood. This person reminisces a lot. This person's very attached to their family. They're very attached to their family of origin. They're very, they care a lot. This person maybe works better with others on the planet, but they operate from a place where they are not fully connected to their higher self. This person has a tendency to be able to understand the practical things. They may even fit better into communities than this person, but this person has a disconnect from their higher self. This person could have extreme wounding around their mother, a very strict mother, a very harsh mother. That could be something that this person has experienced in their life. So this is someone who is learning how to take action toward their dreams and learning how to show up, to suit up and show up for the ones that they love. And I'm hearing instead of just living from a very practical standpoint, because this person, I think their forward movement in life has been limited to material things. And it could be that you have accelerated. I mean, you both seem to be learning lessons around materialism that has been taught by society. But this person is much more deeply rooted in it. This is someone who might hoard or might have a hard time letting go of belongings, or have a hard time letting go of the first person they ever fell in love with in high school. This is somebody who may feel like they need to manipulate the material world to get what they want. But they're not necessarily understanding their soul. So this is somebody who is actually learning from you how to connect to their soul. They are learning from you how to, some of them are learning how to manifest. Some of them are learning that, they're learning how to cooperate with their soul. And maybe this person is learning their life purpose through some of the lessons that they went through with you. They're learning about themselves. This person's learning to have their ego rooted in their soul as well. The Sun, 10 of Pentacles and the 5 of Wands. This person is learning how to ground their true happiness. And there is a childhood wound here. This is very specific around a mother. So this person is healing a very deep childhood wound around their mother. And they are learning respect. So this person is learning how, there could be a respect for the feminine that this person is learning. They're learning how to respect and honor the feminine energy within themselves. They're healing, They're learning how to be happy. They are definitely learning how to be happy and how to accept the challenges in life, how to overcome the challenges. So, and how to make something happen, something grounded. So it almost feels like someone in this connection may have been more financially well off and the other person may have grown up in poverty as well. And so you're learning these lessons from different sides of the same coin. But it's a similar lesson about materialism on earth and aligning your life's purpose with your soul. This person, though, is learning more about how to actually fight for what they want. Whereas this energy, it's like, if this is, you know, if you resonate with this being you, there's something here about like actually drawing in instead of fighting. Instead of fighting, you're meant to be drawing things into you. You're meant to pause. You're meant to manifest through receiving and through really moving, almost like standing still, like really generating a lot of what you experience in life through attracting it in. This person, so this gives me feminine versus masculine energy. Interesting, I said vascular. Something about blood could be significant. Vascular surgeon. But this is giving me feminine and this is giving me masculine energy, just in this particular reading, where this is someone who is learning how to be in their healthy masculine energy and to take action. And also this person's needing to learn how to apologize too. This person is learning how to apologize. This person is learning how to take responsibility for themselves. Yeah. And to really show up and to respect children and women is something that this person is learning as well. Seven of Wands. Yeah, and to respect boundaries. So this person is learning not to override people's boundaries. That they are not always the one in control. And that by trying to control, both of you are learning about controlling external circumstances rather than aligning with your higher purpose and manifesting things through the frequency that resonates most strongly with your energy. And people can fluctuate between these energies. We all have both of these energies within us. So this is, there's a lot less information here. So we're just gonna move on. I'm just gonna trust that that was the information that was meant to come out. So is there anything else just for pile one for themselves? What lessons are they learning? Anything else that I'm missing? Yeah, addiction. So you may struggle with addictions, obsession, codependency, being possessive, and having an emotional block that, you know, and this might be, some of you might be like, wow, I never, like this could be illuminating. This reading could be the first time for some of you that you are experiencing these messages being delivered to you. So if you experience resistance or you feel, if you feel like upset at this message, because I was feeling that over here on this side, that can be because our addictions are deeply rooted in our ego. And so it's like our ego creates a blind spot, and it doesn't want to know, it doesn't want to see, it doesn't want to hear that we are the common denominator in our problems, and that our addictions and attachments are keeping us from being happy, and they're keeping us from having loving collaborative relationships. So, you know, if you have this chain, and you're still in an active addiction that maybe you're not aware of, this could be triggering, this could make you mad. This could create cognitive dissonance for you. So if you're experiencing that feeling, this could be about you. And I've struggled with addictions in my life. You know, I'm not here on any kind of soapbox. I have struggled with addictions. There have been 2 times, and I'm just going to say this because I do get projected onto a lot as a public, you know, reader and a platform. I have, my life isn't in the public. What I share and what I guide people through is very personal, but I'm in the public eye. I have 9 years off of drugs, alcohol, and cigarettes. I have a year sober from using cannabis in any form because it just leads me back to smoking it too much. And that's the one that I struggled with the most because it made me feel better, right? I have betrayed people a couple of times in my life in a way that I knew was wrong before it happened, and I had to make amends. I had to face my own shadow. I am not a perfect person. I make a lot of mistakes. I've had mental health issues. I've experienced, anger issues, and I have a lot of things that I have done. I am 50 years old this year, and I have done a lot of work on myself, but I struggle with depression, and I can be way too dramatic and feel sorry for myself when my life isn't even as hard as a lot of people in the world. So I'm sharing that about myself because I think it's important for people to realize that there's a lot of stigma around addictions. There's stigma around betrayal. And it's almost like everyone's trying to act like their poop doesn't smell when all of our poop smells, and we've all got it. We all have shadows. We're all human beings. So there you go. Anything else that you're learning? Okay, this is apparently for this pile or this person. The runner. Yeah, this is definitely the runner. So this person fears intimacy. They tend to run. Yeah, they tend to run. They manifest what it is that they want, and then they run from it. They're learning how not to run. This person is learning to face their fear of intimacy. They're learning how to return, to make amends, and how to stay, how to ground things, how to stay. Yeah. This person really does. They manifest stuff and then they run from it. And they create their own problems and they don't see it. Girl with a snake. Yes. Enabling boundaries. And this is between the two of you. Okay. Both of you, and look at the snake in the Garden of Eden, because this is the Garden of Eden energy. And my spirituality is starting to go way back. I've taken mythology classes too. And I don't identify with any religion anymore. I really feel like every single story, every single spiritual perspective, religion is like formed around it to control people, but spirituality is like one and the same throughout all of our stories all over the world. So I'm not like going, oh, let's talk about the Bible or Christianity here. But what I am saying is like this idea that someone is guilty, someone is wrong, that someone can be seduced or charmed into doing the wrong thing. And then, so this is something about blaming the divine feminine for the suffering in the world, in a way, toxic masculinity in the world. And this is all about both of you not acting out of your lower nature and activating your kundalini so that you can enable healthy boundaries and not be using one another. Someone in this connection is addicted, obsessed, attached. The other one is running, creating attachments that they cannot maintain and fleeing. And both of you are learning not to charm or use one another. Somebody's charming, someone's using. Boundaries need to be enabled. I love this. I'm like, okay, this reading is really fun. And I'm having a great time. And I hope I'm not offending anyone. But if I am, then you're probably growing. So what have you realized as a result of this connection? That no distance will keep you apart, because the two of you, no matter how many boundaries that you put up with one another, your souls agreed to do this. So you will be pulled back together because this is a soul connection. So you realize that space, distance, time, it doesn't keep the two of you apart. And what has your person realized? Yeah, that they want this union with you, that they don't want to run. They know that you're waiting for them. And you're both learning that you can't lose the other one, because you really do have some sort of soul, the red string theory, the soul connection. You are one another's lifeline in some way. Your souls agreed to this before you came here. So even if your egos are throwing tantrums, right? This is what you came here to do. And both of you are realizing that you are stuck at a crossroad right now, okay? And that adjustments need to be made in regard to reciprocity. Okay, this reading has been so freaking cool. All right, so let's get you, I'm just gonna move this stuff out here. So what does this person have to say to you about this connection at this time? We have your love is my safe place. Why can't you see my heart? And I long to feel noticed by you. So this person feels, it's like they feel like you don't see them. You may both be mirroring, feeling like you can't really reach the other one's heart. You want to be safe together in this love, and you want to notice each other. You want the love to manifest. Yeah, but you both feel alone. I feel alone even when we're together. So yeah, you're both learning to love yourselves. Yeah, and the storms made you resilient. So I do think the storms that the two of you are going through are making you resilient. And I do feel that both of you are going to keep moving forward. You will eventually start telling each other what your heart needs. Yeah. So your person does feel alone even when they're with you, and both of you are struggling to see the other one. So there could be a lot of projecting that happens. So you're not really seeing this person for who they are because you're projecting your own attachment issues onto them. Okay, anything else that this person wants to say? Ooh. Time will tell. I remember the day we met like it was yesterday. I miss you, but I don't have time right now. Yeah, this person is learning how to manifest and build foundations in their own life. And I wish you were mine. And why do we have to be apart? So both of you, I'm like, blip, blip, blip. Both of you don't really want to be apart, but you do have to be apart. For most of you, you're experiencing some sort of separation from this person. And the separation is needed for you to grow and learn these lessons. Yeah, some of you had a very tragic ending with this person. I do think this is a past life, though. You were reborn here to go through this, right? And to transition and to heal these tragic endings. Yeah, and I do feel like in some ways, in order to receive what you need, you have to move on from this. But this does continue to come back around. For a lot of you, this will come back around, and you will actually get back out there. And you will meet. And some of you will decide that this soul connection is something that is not meant for you in this life. You'll go meet other people, right? Because this person is maybe not willing to open up, right? And there is a pain here that you may have to move through. So some of you have chosen with this counterpart to remain connected spiritually, but to allow yourself to move on, so that you can create grounding and stability for yourself. Yeah, and a little extra messages there for you. And I just saw that old school. So some of you, this is somebody that, you know, you're struggling to get over that was from high school, or, you know, there's something here about being attached to the past and needing to learn how to move on, closure issues, knowing when to let go of somebody and honor the connection spiritually, but live your life in the moment, in the here and now. Especially if someone is still working on finding their foundations, being able to be stable, learning how to apologize. This person is learning how to return. Instead of running, they're learning how to create union, to return, and to stay present. And this person is learning how not to chase and attach and, create a lot of conflict and drama in this situation with their attachment. It's not that running or shutting down doesn't create drama and conflict, but the response that you, if this is you, have to this person's behavior is it's a repeated sabotaging for yourself, right? And this person is sabotaging by shutting down. And then it does feel like both of you are, maybe some of you, both of you need to learn through other relationships before you can actually understand each other. That's not going to be for everybody. Okay. And again, only time will tell. It does feel like both of you have to choose to be fully present and to see each other instead of projecting yourself onto this person in a way like a mirror, so that you can truly see this person for who they are. And then you can coexist together and you can feel connected and your hearts can be seen and you can notice each other. Okay. Confirmations, I guess. Woohoo. This feels really good because I've felt really stuck in a creative rut, you guys. And I've been like, oh, I'm so tired of doing the same thing. So I just had to do something different, even if Spirit had to trick me into it. So 4, 5, and 1 could be significant numbers for you. We have 3, 999, 333, and 77. We have JMYGUOPY So that's 2 of those. H, another M, it's 2 of those. I, T, V, A, X, another U, so 2 of those, another O, and a C. Okay, and let's get you an angel number. Oh, here, I'll hold those up first. Okay. All right, this is advice and closing out the reading. 1515, creativity. And this is, look at this. So 1515. So this is devil energy. This is overcoming attachment, addiction, obsession, your shadow, right? So you're both learning it. You're mirroring it. Creativity. And the solution feels like creativity. Keep accessing the creative connection that you feel to the divine. The whispers speak through your creative connection, allowing you to express the beauty that is within you and connect you to the love that is around you. Creativity is my birthright. As I express my creativity, I feel a beautiful flow of love and connection. So we don't get our love, our happiness, our satisfaction, our needs met through attachments. We get our satisfaction and our needs met through expressing our creativity on earth, by being in alignment with what we are here to do and with our soul and connecting to source. Yeah. And then that creates the flow and the connection. And then that is what we are embodying. And then we mirror that to others. And then we attract love and we can manifest love. Okay. I hope you like this reading. Thank you so much for being here. And please do like, share, comment, subscribe, and hype. If you like this kind of content, please comment and let me know. If you have ideas for different types of content, let me know. I may or may not be able to do them. I have to follow my own intuition, but this was a really fun and fresh way for me to do a reading today, and I am enjoying it very much. So if you enjoyed it, please let me know. And I do personals. My email's in the description, and I hope to see you again. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome, pile 2. If you chose this amethyst, this is a healing amethyst point. And the Call of the Muse card, number 31. Or if you chose By Zodiac, we have Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, and Taurus. So all the air signs, along with Taurus today in your reading. So this is about what lessons you are learning and what lessons your person is learning from this connection, what you need to know. And so with number 31, the Call of the Muse, this could be a connection where this has brought out a lot of your creativity. Someone could be a ballerina here. Someone could just really love dance. You could look like this person, or your person could look like this. There is a feeling of activating and aligning with your creative purpose. This person may have felt like a muse to you. You may have expressed a depth of creativity from meeting this person. You may have been activated. Like some of you may have started some sort of creative pursuit after meeting this person. You may have felt like something profound shifted and changed in you, like you became awake or more alive. Some of you may have also felt more connected to your physical body as a result of interacting with this person. And there could have also been a desire to increase your vitality, your health, your fitness. You may have gone into a dark place, but you brought yourself out of that dark place by connecting with this sort of deep creative force, this source. And it feels very primal, that was activated as a result of meeting this person. So we are going to do something different today. We are doing, we're going to look at what your lessons were or are, and what your person's lessons are or were, depending on whether you're in separation or not, or how it comes through. It's just a very channeled reading. And so we'll be using 2 different decks. And yeah, we'll get into it. So we're not having the usual format, but we will have the confirmations. We're just going to do letters and numbers and a little angel card at the end. So we're not doing full confirmations. So we are going to look at, and I am hearing to get a different deck. So I'm just going intuitively with the decks today as well. This is a very intuitive, very channeled topic today in reading. Spirit just sort of flung me into this. So it's actually the way I used to operate all the time on my previous channel. So it actually feels kind of good. It's very liberating from like doing a certain thing over and over that I know works, but just doing something new. And so that could be something that you're learning, that you're doing something new. You're doing, instead of doing the same thing over and over, you're taking a new approach or a fresh approach to your creative life, to your passions, to maybe your routine. Some of you, it is like a physical routine, because they keep pointing out that she's dancing here. So it's something about like self-care and embodiment. And this connection could have broken you out of a rut, or just something that was familiar, comfortable, and it worked, but it wasn't, maybe your life was lackluster. You were just feeling stuck or stagnant, or things felt repetitive, and this like brought you back to life in some way. So we're going to start with you. Now with these verses type of readings, sometimes you may not resonate with the group that is supposed to be you, and you can identify more with the other group, and that's fine. So, but I'm going to refer to this as you, and this is your person for the most part, because the A-B thing totally confuses me when I watch readers who do that. So if I'm saying your person and you're like, no, that's me, just take it, okay? So what lessons are you learning in this connection? What lessons were you here to learn? What did your soul come to learn through this experience with this person? What are your lessons? So Spirit, let me tell pile 2 what their lessons are. We have the Knight of Wands. We have the Star. So more Aquarius energy here. Oh, we have the Six of Swords. And we have the Four of Cups. And the Hangman. Okay, so we do have Neptunian energy here with the Hangman, Pisces energy. So what did you come here to heal in this connection? Why are you in this connection, or why were you in this connection? What was the purpose? What are the lessons? Well, for some of you, this is about learning how to heal your relationship with love. So this is a connection where there's a very hot and cold energy here. So we've got hot and cold energy here. We have rushing in and then rushing out. So you are healing wounds around, and I'm finding it difficult to articulate this. So give me just a second here. And I'm getting a lot of burps. It's interesting. You are healing a rejection and abandonment wound. This connection came into your life to help you to heal from a deep-seated rejection and abandonment wound. The lessons that you are learning from this connection have to do with being reliable, being stable, and staying in one place. So whether or not you are the person who rushes in and out of people's lives, or whether that is what this person did to you, the lesson here is in actually embracing love, remaining hopeful, believing in love, and also not looking back at the past and holding on to things that are not really aligned with you. There's a strong energy here of escaping depression or apathy or boredom by pursuing passionate, unstable relationships. So again, either you have been pursued in this way, or you are the one that does this. It's like rushing in and running away. So there's this chasing and running kind of dynamic here. And you are learning to stand still, to remain hopeful, to remain a beacon of healing and love, and being the source of that healing. And realizing that sometimes it is better for you to stand still, to allow yourself to feel the feelings that you want to escape and to fully heal. You're actually learning how to go deep and actually fully heal. So there's a feeling of maybe getting into one after another situationship or relationship, or doing friends with benefits. And you may find yourself in this situation and be asking yourself, why is this happening to me? Or you may be the one who is actively pursuing these type of relationships. It can be either way over here. But the lesson is to heal the apathy, the boredom, the depression, the attachments, and the rejection wound that keeps you from staying in stable love, that keeps you from choosing to work through conflict instead of escaping it, to work through your own internal conflict and your own chaos, and to go after your passionate pursuits. Sometimes we drain our energy in toxic relationships, and we lose touch with our life force energy by having casual sexual relationships that are devoid of love, because we don't see the value in that energy. We don't honor it. We don't claim it as our creative life force, as our sacred connection to our purpose. And so you're learning how to use your sexual energy in a way that is healing. And so it does feel like a lot of you are learning that situationships are actually very unhealthy for you. Friends with benefits, situationships, casual connections, anything that is not grounded, anything that is not clear. And it does feel like some of you in the process of healing from that. So there's this very strong underlying current here in this energy of, I'm finally slowing down. I'm slowing down, and I'm actually seeing in the mirror that there's this beautiful divine cup in front of me. I'm seeing that the love is from within me, and I'm seeing that the divine is offering it to me, but I've been too unhealed to realize that I am my own source of love, and that my passion, my creativity is being drained by these unhealthy attachments and relationships, and that I am the only one that can truly embody love for myself. Like there's no satisfaction. There's no genuine satisfaction in pursuing relationships just to experience them. After a while, I mean, there's no shame. There's nothing right or wrong. This reading isn't meant to make anyone feel bad. I said that in pile 1 too. I mean, this is a very deep, channeled reading. And when you're learning lessons and you're watching tarot about your lessons, it's not always going to feel good to hear what some of the lessons are. But there's something here about escaping into like just, I'm hearing like, yeah, you're just not honoring your body. You're not honoring your body or your sexuality. And so that's what you learned in this connection with this person. You are learning to honor your sexuality, to honor your body. And you're learning to heal from rejection, being rejected, being abandoned, or rejecting and abandoning people. Some of you are the one having these impulsive affairs. And some of you feel like you just keep ending up being used or being treated this way. But you are the source, because it is your unwillingness to see that you are loved. You are fully loved by the divine, that you are a beacon, you are a light, that you have love and life force and creativity within you. And that if you choose to go after those dreams, if you choose to spark and activate and live your passions, that you will heal from this dynamic. So the lessons you are learning have to do with you actually, some of you are learning that you need to be celibate, actually, for a while. Yeah? Yeah, the world. And you're completing some sort of karmic cycle here. And you're learning how to, yeah, this is fixed energy too. You are learning how to stay. I'm just hearing stay. You're learning how to stay instead of running from yourself. And some of you just keep going in circles, right? And so you're learning how to sit with your pain, with your boredom, with your apathy, with your depression, and truly heal. And truly heal this abandonment wound. And really love and honor your body, your sacred vessel, and treating it as sacred. Yeah. So there's an energy of abstaining here. Yeah, 10 of Wands, abstaining from your passion. Abstaining from the passion that drains you, the passion that creates unhealthy dynamics, that keeps you from experiencing true, genuine connection with others. So this is about putting down the burden of you're showing me all the snakes. Snake energy came through pile 1 as well. But putting down the burden of what are you saying, Spirit? 2 of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. Yeah, you are a very passionate, very creative person. And I do feel like the lesson you're learning from this person is not to allow others to drain your life force or to be draining your life force. So it's like channel your creative sexual energy into your life's purpose and building something for yourself. Hold on to your passionate energy and use it. Find balance that energy. You are magnetic and you are very attractive and you are capable of being very successful. And Spirit is saying, like, it's so funny. I don't want to offend anyone, but Spirit's like, keep it in your pants. So I don't know. That's what you're learning. I'm sorry. King of Swords, 9 of Pentacles. Yeah, there's something here about abstaining from unhealthy relationships with people who are not able to love you. Yeah, so this is about your worth. And some of you are learning, there's something about learning that your worth is tied to your attractiveness, your sexual attractiveness, and healing that. Yeah, your prowess or your attractiveness, or whether or not people pursue you, and kind of getting caught up in escapism, escaping into passion or lust or toxic relationships that don't meet your needs to avoid a deeper healing of an abandonment wound. Okay, so Spirit is saying we're done on that side. Okay, so all right. So what is your person learning? What are their lessons from this connection? Pile 2's person learning. What are their lessons from this connection? Spirit, Pile 2's person, what are their lessons? We have the 4 of Swords. We have the King of Wands. Yeah. We have the Ace of Swords. We have the 6 of Pentacles. And the Ace of Wands. You're both learning the same lessons. The Spirit is being really cheeky right now. Spirit's like, you're both learning to keep it in your pants. Okay. Give me a second here. Yeah. You're both learning a very strong, you're learning healing of your sexual energy. So both of you are learning how to honor and treat your sexual energy as sacred. So this is someone who, your person thinks with they're very lustful, okay? This is someone who could very much be a masculine too. The sword and the wand are giving me heavy, but it doesn't necessarily matter, but this is the energy. This is the energy. So it doesn't matter if your person's a man or a woman. The energy is this person is learning. Spirit's like, this isn't complicated. They're learning to keep it in their pants if they don't have something to offer. This person is just very much... I need to ground for a second. Do you have any water over here? I'll be right back. This person's energy is throwing me off. I'll be right back. Okay. Yeah, their energy's so fiery. I just immediately felt dehydrated. I was like, whoa. Both of you seem to escape deeper wounds through sex. This person is learning not to use sex as a way to escape. Period. The Sun. Yeah, this person has so much passion and drive. The Knight of Cups. Yeah, this person is learning that they're being. I'm trying. This is someone who, so it does feel like a lot of you are the ones that are attracting or experiencing, I don't want to necessarily say attracting, but you're experiencing this kind of behavior from this person and maybe multiple people. This person is learning not to be selfish and lustful. They are learning that happiness does not come from their happiness. I'm sorry, I am an adult here. But there's an energy of this person not taking things seriously and just being very lustful and very selfish and very driven. They are learning that they need to give back. Some of you could have been in a relationship with this person and they were selfish in the bedroom. It's like, I got what I wanted, so I'm done, I'm good. Others of you, this person they seek physical relationships. And this is someone who has a tendency to seek lust, passion, desire. And once they get that from someone, they go silent. This is someone who ghosts. This is someone who is very driven by lust. And there are lessons in this connection with you, because some of you may have gone silent on this person. And this person is now left with their desire, their passion, and there's a truth that is unspoken between the two of you. So this person is learning lessons in reciprocity. Because the Knight of Wands is totally chaotic. It's just the fire element of fire. It's fire and fire. It's all fire all the time. It's not grounded at all. And the King of Wands is actually, I believe he's fire of earth. I've been learning more about tarot, which is really great. I said that funny, but I've been learning a lot of like more in-depth things about the cards, which is really helping to enhance my practice. But I'm still remembering some of it. But the King of Wands is a much more grounded, much more like, I know what I want and I'm going to go after it. And I also know how to give of myself here with the Six of Pentacles. And I know how to create a balanced reciprocal connection. I know how to take care of myself well enough to be grounded. I know what I want and I can be stable and I can maintain it. Okay. So your person is, facing some sort of healing around honesty too. I do feel like this person, with what the lesson is here, they're learning to be honest. They're learning to speak the truth instead of being silent, instead of ghosting. And it is around healing. The Four of Swords is around healing, but I do feel like this person is somewhat of a heartbreaker. You know, they get what they want and they feel all good and happy and it fulfills their ego and they experience the pleasure and they feel like, this person has a bit of an ego about that. They could also be super attractive for some of you, or this is what makes them feel attractive. You both are mirroring healing wounds around my attractiveness is where my value lies. But this is somebody who just gives the bare minimum. Yeah, Page of Pentacles, Page of Wands, and Two of Swords. This person's lessons are around actually making a choice. Yeah, Three of Swords. I knew it was down here. This person's a heartbreaker. They're learning lessons around investing. And you may have been the person that chose yourself. Okay. For a lot of you, you put your foot down with this person and you chose yourself and you started using this energy. You channeled this energy that was between the two of you that you couldn't express because it kept hurting you into your creative passions, and you started to go through your own Kundalini awakening and you're realizing your worth and your value and you're healing your abandonment wounds. So a lot of you are already doing that because this person is now stuck in silence with their ego, with their, hand literally, and having to face the fact that they do not know how to provide stable, reciprocal, healthy love. And that they have an ego that they have to deal with. So their lessons are about not offering the bare minimum to someone and acting like they have it all together and that they can, you know, give you everything. This is someone who needs to grow up. Some of you, this person could be very young. This could be, you know, if your person is very young, you know, if this is the first time they fell in love, or if, you know, they're still before their Saturn returns, so they're under 28 years old, they could still be learning lessons around selfishness. And yeah, this person is learning how to be more selfless and how to make a decision. So this person may have done something, you know, pretty hurtful to you. This person, I feel like they run through people in some way. This person could definitely be someone who breadcrumbs and is a heartbreaker. So let's get more cards, and we'll get cards on both sides. So what are they learning? But it does feel like the main lesson for this person is that they need to be able to show up and be a reciprocal, stable, grounded person and be honest. Okay, and that they need to make reparations with people that they harm. That they can't just go through and run through people and then right off into the sunset to the next thing. That's not going to work for them. Yeah, they're not going to get what they want. They're eventually just going to end up alone. You know, and they're going to be alone with the truth. But I don't feel like for some of you, your person hasn't learned the lessons yet. They are really not. They're not quite there. So it does feel like maybe they're going to need to learn this lesson through some other people or through extended separation from you. This person seems to respond to silence better than they respond to you asking for what you need. So for my person, for my viewer, anything else about what lessons they're learning in this connection? Twin flames. Sorry. I said this in one other video. Can we all have a moment of silence for the twin flames? Because, all right, honey. Okay. This person is mirroring some pretty deep abandonment wounds to you, and you are learning the lesson that you actually will have to choose yourself. Because this pattern will never, you will be in an infinite loop of trauma and attachment and rejection and running and chasing until you come into balance in yourself. And so you are learning the lesson of inner union of your own masculine and feminine energies. You are understanding that the journey that you are on, regardless of whether you label it that or not, it has to do with bringing the opposite polarities of your own energy into balance in yourself. So any part of you that you are neglecting is going to be mirrored back to you by this person. So if you are neglecting taking care of your body, loving yourself, if you are neglecting expressing your creativity, if you are neglecting finding your soul's purpose, if you are allowing this person to run through you, to abandon you, to take advantage of you, you are learning that that will not stop until you pause. Some of you, it is about celibacy because this is a sexual wound that you share with this person. So, you are learning the difference between love and love bombing and one-sided love. And so, in my opinion, and everybody has their different views, this is not necessarily a connection that is meant to come into blissful union and happily ever after. It is a journey of realizing that the attachment to the person is what creates the toxic dynamic. And unconditional love is what sets you free. Self-love, wholeness, loving yourself, being more selfless with others. You're both learning how to be more selfless with others, but from a place of wholeness in yourself, not martyrdom. You're not martyring yourself to narcissists, love bombers, self-absorbed, one-sided love, or lovers. So you may have learned this lesson through multiple people because once you encounter a counterpart like this, every connection that you try to escape this connection into keeps re-triggering the wound in some way or feels off. So that's why a lot of times celibacy or removing yourself from relationships while you tap into your own Kundalini and your own creative energy is what actually brings you to a place of wholeness and healing. But if you keep trying to escape into relationships, you keep repeating the pattern because it's not this person's fault. Your soul's agreed to go through these lessons, right? If you blame this person, you go, well, they're just hurting me because they're doing this thing that's wrong. But you're not healing the core wound that has drawn the two of you together to meet and to play out these patterns. Then every person you meet, there's some level of this core wound that's still unhealed within you, and you keep acting it out or coming back around into these situations where you're like, how come this situation is not meeting my need, or it's recreating the abandonment wound, or it just feels misaligned. Okay, so anything else about what pile 2's person's learning in this connection? The chaser. They're learning not to chase, thrills. This is somebody who is afraid of, you both have abandonment wounds. So this person, but this is the person that wants people to chase them. This is the person that chases lust, passion, desire, and then ghosts. So they're healing their codependency. They're learning lessons about their abandonment wounds. Maybe they were always chasing a parent for attention, for validation. Maybe this person learned to lie, to manipulate, to get what they want. This person is a thrill chaser in some ways, and they are learning that it's like they chase thrills, they chase, and then they turn around and put someone else in the position of chasing them by going silent. And this is coming from a wound. Yeah. So they're learning. That's what they're learning. So, but I just don't, for you guys, this person's not there yet. I haven't learned it yet. All right. So what are the lessons that they're learning? Sunglasses. Yeah. Watching, looking, perception, stalking. Some of you, this person's like a hunter. They're giving me like this energy of this person like hunts their partners like prey. And it's like they get off on people coming after them after they do this. They look for someone vulnerable and they hook into that attachment wound. And this is subconscious for most of you, okay? And then they get that person hooked on them and then chasing them. And then it's like they look back over their shoulder and they're like, ha ha ha, you want me. And this is what gives this person an ego boost and validation. So that is the lesson that they have to learn. They have to learn to be honest. They have to learn to be true. They have to learn to stop chasing and running from love. And thinking with their, their lustful nature. Yeah, they need to evolve. This is somebody who is learning how to heal their inner child. So however they acquired this wound, it's like they identify with their physical prowess, their attractiveness, how much people want them, and all of that. It comes from some sort of child wound of not getting a parent's attention or love, or of a parent that could have abused them in some way. So they're learning how to evolve and grow. So this is someone who needs to let go of this pattern. Yeah. So some of them could be stuck on a breakup too. Like they have a very broken heart. And it does feel like, there's the runner and the chaser. Higher commitment. So maybe this person also is carrying a very, very deep wound from multiple lifetimes or from this lifetime, where there was some sort of shocking heartbreak that happened to them, where they really thought that they were in love and they really thought that that person was the one. And it turned out that, something, they experienced some sort of shock or change or loss. And this could have even been like a broken home, broken family that they observed. And then they've been stuck in this perpetual cycle ever since, where their heart is shut down. Yeah. So some of them had some sort of tragic ending. They could have even had like a death of a parent or a loss or a breakup, something. And it could have been a pattern that repeats throughout lifetimes, that this person just keeps going through these patterns because they're waking up over time to their true value. But this just feels like someone who's not really connected to their soul at this time. This person has a lot of deep trauma wounds. And so we'll we'll get some more cards here, but it just feels like this person is learning these lessons. You know what, I need to ask, how are they progressing here? How are they doing? How is this person doing on these lessons? Close the door with grace. I'm worthy of the love I seek. I forgive you for me and us. I feel like this is someone who Spirit is saying, don't be attached to this person, because that is part of what you're learning. Some of you just need to close the door at this time and realize that you are worthy of the love that you offer others and that you are seeking, and to be in a place of forgiveness, because this person may be struggling in this lifetime to learn these lessons, and we can't control what someone else is doing. Love is my safe place. And also not seeking safety in a loving relationship. You are safe, you are lovable, and you are worthy of love, even if your counterpart or someone you're deeply in love with is not able to be a safe person for you. Yeah. So it does feel like this is someone where they could be leaving your life. This could be a chapter where this person is leaving your life. And this is general reading and there's no guarantees, but it is important to allow people to go through their lessons and not to be attached to the person while they go through that. Because it does feel like this person has some massive awakening that they need to go through. And are they going to wake up in this lifetime? Someone mentioned, will they awaken as a topic, which if you like that idea, let me know in the comments. But will this person learn this lesson in time to actually come into some sort of union with my viewer? For the majority of them. Ace of Pentacles, yes. There is an opportunity. There is a new opportunity here. But this is an opportunity, it's not a guarantee. Strength. So it does feel like this person is taming their ego. This is a very strong connection. This person they have the strength to do this. And the Sun, yes. Okay, that's a big yes. The Sun is the yes card. So yes, for most of you watching, it's just that they're not quite there yet, right? So it's important to detach and let this person go through, because they really have a massively broken heart. This person has some deep, deep wounds that they need to heal. And they need to learn to heal them from, taking actions that are healing for them instead of escaping into these kind of dynamics. Yeah. They're not honoring their sacred sexuality and they're not honoring other people. They're using them. And so they have to overcome that. Okay. So now we're going to get, I'm actually using this deck. So let's get some messages. Oh, wait, hold on. Didn't we use, I'm just doing this so intuitively. I think I used these first, but whatever, we're going with the flow. So what is your person realized? We'll start over here because that's the energy I was sitting in. And then we'll look at what you're realizing here. So what has your person realized? Deliver me from temptation and dark night of the soul. Yeah, this person realizes that they are going through a very dark place in themselves. So they are aware that there is something here where they are acting out of temptation and lust, and they are starting to want to be delivered from it. It is not causing this person, they're not healing. They're not happy. All truth will be revealed. Yeah, that they need to start getting honest. So they're realizing that they need to start getting honest with themselves. They need to start telling the truth to the people in their lives. They need to stop acting out of temptation, out of lust, that they're going through a very dark place. Some of them could realize that this pattern that they are in is causing them to be depressed. They could be feeling guilty. Yeah, they need to make adjustments in their ability to give and receive, in their level of reciprocity in relationships. Okay, and what are you realizing? What are you realizing? This is not your typical love story, and it's not, so you can't just apply basic, this is spiritual. So all the relationship advice out there for traditional relationships may not apply. Some of it might, but you have to find your own way through this. And fears and anxieties, you're starting to realize that you may live in fear, that you may have a lot of fears and anxieties. You may struggle to, because the fear of losing this person could be overpowering. And so that is a sign that you need to love yourself. And the attachment is so strong, right? That it can feel almost like dying to actually accept that that person is going through something that you may not be able to hold them or be close to them or have them in your life or communicate with them or be intimate with them for an extended period of time. And the fear of losing them forever can be so deep that you keep repeating the pattern. So a lot of you are realizing that your own fear, your own anxiety around this keeps you stuck, and that this isn't typical, and that it does require self-love. You're also both realizing that this will change, that there is some level of enlightenment, that both of you are, your souls are waking up. Okay. And actually, so now, so messages from this person. You are perfect to me, flaws and all. Healing is your superpower. Some of you are healers. This is a very healing connection. This person does actually see your worth and value, even if they feel like they can't express that because of their own insecurities and their own ego. And let's nurture our love every step of the way. So this person does actually want healthy love, but they keep repeating these toxic patterns and they feel stuck in them. But they don't actually want to hurt you. They do want to heal with you. They do want to nurture you. They actually find you to be perfect, and they feel inferior in some ways. I miss who we used to be. So this person does miss you. And I do feel like this person knows that they sabotaged this. My love is constant through highs and lows. So they also realize that no matter how much time goes by, or whether things are stressful, chaotic, or calm, or whether, both of you are experiencing wounding or trauma triggers, that they still feel love for you. They still feel like this is a healing connection. And they do want to nurture this. And I think you both miss this feeling of the immediate reaction. When you meet a counterpart, at first it's like bliss. And then, it does feel like everything just it's like paint thrown at a wall. And all the wounds and all the triggers and everything come up. And it's just really painful. And then it doesn't feel safe anymore. And at first it feels so safe and so beautiful until the bubble pops, and all the triggers happen. So this person does feel, though, that this is a very healing connection. And anything else that this person wants to say? I love fantasizing about our future together. With you, I want to experience the good, the bad, and the unpredictable. It's my turn to chase after you. Yeah, I do think this person is realizing that they have to take action towards you and bring you some sort of truth, but they also know that this pattern can't continue. It can't continue like this. However this is happening, if it's repeating a painful cycle. I took you for granted, and I won't make that mistake twice. I was so lost. Meeting you changed everything, and your heartfelt kisses put my soul at ease. I lose track of time when we're together. Yeah, so there is a beautiful energy between the two of you. And I don't think that this person wants to act out of their wounding. It is a subconscious behavior, an unconscious behavior. Okay, so I think we're getting advice in the angel card at the end. This feels complete to me. So we're gonna get confirmations. 777 was already out of the box. And we have 1111 back here, so we are going to read that as your angel number because it's appropriate for this particular reading. And so we're just going to do letters and numbers. I don't know if I mentioned at the beginning. I'm not going to do all those other confirmations today. We have 4, 3, and 8. We have another 4, so 44. We have 222. And 6666. And I saw a 7777 on a license plate today, so you guys can have that one too. Oop, and this just turned over to a 6. All right, so we have BDS. Oh, BDS. Boycott, divest, and sanctions. Some of you may be activists. We have XD, GG, J, MO, I, P, another I, another B, E, Y, L, R, another L, S, got a lot of doubles. I don't know if I read these. H, another O, 2 T's, and a C. So yeah, there's a lot of duplicates in this group, so it does feel like you are mirroring Mr. PC. What is that about? Maybe somebody here is very like politically correct. Okay, A, maybe somebody says A and hey. Okay, so we're gonna use this angel card to close out your reading. It's the one that wants to be read to you. So intuition, trust in yourself. Your inner whisper is working hard to let you know that it is guiding you. Listen in. What is it saying? Feel it. Where is it telling you to go next? See it. Close your eyes and allow. Trust the path you are on. My intuition speaks to me and I listen. I trust that all things are happening for a purpose. That I just jumped. Yeah. And this is a journey of self, okay? This is a journey of self. It's not about the other person. Also, I'm hearing Mr. T. Mr. T. Okay. So there you go. Thank you so much for being here. If this was helpful, please do like, share, comment, subscribe, and hype. I do personals. My email's in the description. And if you like this, please do let me know in the comments, and I hope to see you again. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome, pile 3. If you chose this Flower Agate, along with the Rose's Kiss card, number 9, or if you chose By Zodiac, we have Capricorn, Cancer, Aries, and Leo. And this is your reading on what lessons you and your person are learning in this connection. What was the purpose? Basically anything Spirit wants to tell us about why this person came into your life and what you are both learning. And so we're going to do this reading in a you and them format. And I kind of just, it was a very like spontaneous thing for me to do this reading. And this is how I used to operate on my very first channel. And I did it all the time. And it actually was kind of overwhelming to do it all the time. But on this channel, I have gotten stuck in sort of doing the same format over and over to the point where I was like, it's kind of losing my mind, like frustrated and bored. And so this actually has broken me out of some sort of rut. And I'm excited about doing this differently. And so that could be an energy that you are experiencing, breaking out of a rut recently, doing something differently. That could be part of the lesson that you're both learning. And yeah, this is going to be different. So in pile 1, I didn't quite know what I was going to do. And then it all just kind of came through. And so now by this pile, I know exactly the format and what we're doing. And we won't be having massive, like I usually have a ton of confirmations. It's just going to be letters and numbers at the end. And the advice will be the little angel card. But we're just going to look at you versus them and the lessons that you're learning, and we'll get a few messages from them. So this card gives me the feeling that maybe there's something here about this connection. This could have even been like this person's kiss like brought you back to life. Some of you may have never kissed this person in person, and there could be a really strong desire to do that. This could be a connection that felt like it really opened up your chakras. You could have felt a lot of emotion, a lot of love with this person. This could have felt like someone that you were very blessed to meet. You could have felt very lucky. Ladybugs could be a symbol for you. Roses could be significant. Also, number 9 is Virgo energy, Hermit energy. So this could be a connection where the two of you may have been separated for a long time. This could have been like a long lost lover for some of you. I'm feeling that. But this is definitely something where it has helped you to understand your worth and your value. And there is something here about the kissing being really amazing, or you very much longing for that in this connection. Someone could be very, there's something here about the feminine in this connection, the person with the more rose-like, you have to be careful on YouTube, but there's something here about, learning to love that part by the other person very much being all about it without shame. I'm just gonna put it that way, okay? And if you know what I'm talking about, you do. And if you don't, I'm sorry. I have to be super careful on YouTube. So we are using 2 different decks, and Spirit had me pull the Light Seers for you and the Oneness Tarot for your person. So let's find out what your lessons are or were, depending on whether you're still in contact, still learning them. Let's find out, okay? So for pile 3, please, what are the lessons they're learning in this connection? What is the purpose of this connection in their life? That's too many. Overcoming insecurities, feeling like you have to fight for love and fight for happiness and that you're never going to receive it. But I'm going to put those back because they all jumped out, and I have a formula that I'm doing here. But that's part of it. Okay, so Spirit, pile 3, what are my viewers' lessons? What was this connection meant to teach them, or is meant to teach them? Not doing reversals, 7 of Swords, King of Pentacles. Oh, let me pause and get your candle. Okay, so there could be something about this particular relationship. Maybe the fire burned out or fizzled out, or maybe you feel alone. Some of you, this could have been like someone that you divorced, but let's keep going. So what lessons are my pile 3s learning from this connection? What's the purpose here? We have the Ace of Cups. One of my favorite Beatles songs, and Spirit loves to give me this one for my readings, is You've Got to Hide Your Love Away by the Beatles. And the Ace of Wands. Hey, you've got to hide your love away. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and that was on the back when I started shuffling after that first little group fell out of the deck there. So Scorpio energy here, death and rebirth. Wow. So the lessons that you are learning from this connection have a lot to do with embracing new beginnings, standing on your own. It feels like this connection taught you some pretty heavy lessons around really being honest with yourself. This is a connection that opened your chakras. This is very much like, this is giving me chakra energy, like heart chakra and third eye. So this connection taught you how to trust your heart and to trust your intuition, okay? This was a connection that taught you the truth. And it taught you about your worth and your value as a person. So it's interesting, this message is not wanting to come through easily. 10 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles, 5 of Cups. For some of you, this was a divorce. This feels like a strong energy of a divorce. So, but we're not going to get too specific on scenarios in this particular reading, although that is my specialty usually. This was teaching you what real, stable, lasting, reciprocal love really is. This connection taught you some very deep, very heavy lessons. There could have been a lot of grief with that 5 of Cups. Yeah, most of you, this was a relationship that ended. Or it could be that you're considering divorcing someone, but this feels like learning how to start over after betrayal from like a long-term commitment. This also feels like the lessons you're learning in this connection are what actually a real, stable, lasting partner looks like, how they show up, and not to choose based on love or passion alone, but to choose love based on someone's integrity, their stability, their reciprocity, their willingness to go the long haul with you. This is a relationship that taught you how to grieve and how to rebuild after grief. Some of you have moved on from the person that you are asking about in this reading, and you are in a new connection, and you had to start over completely from a pretty heavy betrayal. So you may have experienced a lot of trust issues. If this wasn't a long-term commitment, this is just about you learning the difference between deception and loyalty, the difference between just impulsively following your heart and your passions and getting burned by that, and actually choosing from a practical, grounded place when it comes to love. Not every opportunity is going to be a good one for you. And it's about you're healing self-deception around like maybe being led by wanting something new, wanting something inspiring, almost like being attached to the initial romantic stage of a relationship, and learning that love, lasting love, is something that cools down, it calms down, it settles down, it transcends and evolves beyond falling in love. It evolves beyond passionate desire, and it stays. True love stays even after the romance is, calms down and the passion calms down. That real love stays. That is the lesson you are learning. Real love stays. So some of you, this is so you really have to take your scenarios as they fit you, because some of you may be realizing in this connection, we haven't looked at your person yet, but some of you are in a stable, lasting connection, and you clicked on this reading asking what you're learning, and there's somebody else that maybe you fell so deeply in love with. It was like your first love, but this person betrayed you, or they didn't stay, and you had to go through a massive death and a rebirth, and you had to repair and heal and start all the way over. And so you've got this person that you're asking about in the reading, but this is the person for some of you that stays. And this person is like the light at the end of the tunnel after a really deep, painful loss. But the message Spirit is giving me is real love stays. That's the lesson you're learning. And in order to maintain stability in love, you have to be honest with yourself. If you are truly in love with someone, it's not something that you can deny. And if you are truly passionate about someone, it's not something that you can repress. But that these experiences of love and passion have to be rooted in something stable and grounded in order for them to flourish, to blossom, and to last. So some of you thought you were going to be with someone for the rest of your life, and that didn't happen. Or maybe that's what you're hoping with this person, but you're fearful that it won't happen for you because you have trust issues. But you are healing that, because 9 of Pentacles, 2 of Swords. You are healing that. So wherever you're at with the person that you're asking about, which we will get to in a moment, the lessons you're learning are about following your heart, listening to your passion, trusting your intuition, and being able to maintain and not only establish love, true, honest, stable love, but maintain it even through darkness. Some of you have a spouse that died, and so you came here to find out what you learned from a connection where that person is on the other side. I am feeling that. So it's going to be interesting when we get into your person, because the other piles didn't give me quite so many different scenarios, but it seems to be a little bit more important for this reading to kind of place yourselves. Spirit is saying that's it for now. We are going to get a few more cards on your side, but Spirit's saying don't overcomplicate it. So let's find out what your person's lessons are or were in this connection. Hey, Spirit, what Our pile three's person's lessons. What were or what are their lessons in this connection? What was the purpose? We have higher self. We have Six of Wands. Higher self is an extra card in this deck, by the way. What were their lessons? Two of Pentacles. The Magician. The Hermit. Okay. Your person's lessons in this connection have a lot to do with grounding, stabilizing, and anchoring their higher self into this life. Your person's lessons had or have to do with really seeing who they are. There's a lot of external validation and recognition that this person craves or used to crave. This is someone who's learning the difference between manifesting through ego and manifesting through being in balance with their soul. So your person's lessons had to do with or have to do with seeking validation from within. This person had to, you had really heavy lessons, you too. So with the Hermit, okay, Strength wants to pop out also. So we have Leo and Virgo. We have Gemini with the Magician. I think I said Scorpio with Death and Rebirth. And burp. Okay. They're showing me the flashes on these cameras versus the light that in the Hermit comes from within. The Hermit is going within, isolating themselves from the public eye, from the rest of the world, going on a soul-searching journey to find the light within themselves consciously and to bring that light out into the world to guide them. So your person's lessons have to do with being guided by their higher self, by their own luminescence, rather than external approval. Some of you, this is someone who got a lot of attention, or this could even have been a famous person or someone who was seeking fame, seeking validation. It does feel like this could have been someone who was struggling with the way that they present themselves to the world. And it does feel like this was a very humbling, or is a very humbling connection. Because it put both of you into very, very intense spiritual lessons. And these are very high vibrational decks. These are very spiritual decks. Both of these decks. They're very evolved, enlightened decks. They really are. They bring through really high vibrational, very like awakened messages. So this was a very deeply spiritually awakening connection for both of you. And this person had to go through, it does feel like maybe they juggled you or betrayed you because they were seeking external validation or manipulating people, or what other people think of them and their abilities and their powers was more important to them than soul level love. This gives me like warlock versus shaman. So it's like giving me like this person had to ascend spiritually, because the Hermit comes out of that phase as a guide, a teacher, as someone who can truly say that they have faced their shadows and that they know that they, the Hermit is like the energy of like I came all this way and I still believe myself to be the fool. I do not know everything. I am not the all-knowing, all-being guide for myself or others. This person has humbled their ego. And the magician is right after the fool. This is still someone who's manipulating. They're learning how to master the material world. And a lot of times, if someone comes in as a very powerful soul, and they're very spiritual, but they're not awakened yet, they can become manipulators. We all have the potential to take our spiritual energy and use it for the wrong reasons because we're in a place of ego and we're not fully awakened yet. We haven't dealt with our shadows. And so we seek validation. This is giving me self-proclaimed influencers, self-proclaimed gurus, people who don't have any training, giving themselves titles, thinking that they, this is this is giving cult leader energy. I'm not saying your person is or was a cult leader, but that's the kind of energy. And they came in with very powerful spiritual energy. And this connection, you humbled each other. But it feels like your energy was a lot more pure toward this person in some ways. And this person was in a way brought to their knees by whatever happened between the two of you. And forced them to isolate and go within, to access their higher self and bring themselves back into balance, and to channel and anchor their soul in their body, and to overcome their ego gratification and their entitlement. This person, it was a very entitled person. This gives me, some of you, it could have been a narcissist for some of you, but it does feel like they chose this lifetime with you to heal that shadow. Eight of Cups, Inspiration of Swords. Yeah, it's almost like there's chickadee, which I've been sad they haven't been on my balcony, but I read something about that. We have chickadees during the winter a lot, but it has to do with the type of food that I'm feeding them. So anyway, that could be something that ties in here in a minute. But yeah, this person really had to go back to the beginning. They had to realize that they had a lot to learn. You humbled this person in a way to realize that they had to really go on a soul-searching journey, that they had to face their ego and they had to be reborn as someone who is curious. Nine of Swords. Yeah, this person had to face their demons. This person's lessons that they learned from this connection was you mirrored back to this person their own darkness, their own shadows. Yeah, and there's something here about them not running from it, being able to actually return. So this person is actively in hermit mode for most of you learning these lessons. Some of you will reunite with this person, even if it's just as a friend, and you will share, because you're in the death card energy and they're in the hermit energy. So this is really deep. And this feels like a long separation. Some of you will reunite on the other side. Some of you have had nightmares about this person, or you've seen this person's ghost if they already are on the other side. There will be some sort of reunion. Three of Cups, Four of Cups. Yeah. If this is someone that you felt rejected by or abandoned by, they were learning not to self-abandon because of a deep wound. This person had to face a lot of their own fears, their insecurities, their guilt, their shame. Yeah. And it could be that this person is being put through like the underworld and they're going to come back to life energetically. So take the symbolism how it fits. But it does feel like you have a deep soul connection with this person to the extent that it is likely that you will have some sort of reunion in this life, or that you are at least able to be friends. This could, for some of you, even just have been a friend or a colleague or family member. So let's keep going. So anything else for my person in pile 2 for what their lessons are in this connection? What was the purpose? Ascending. Yeah, you're going through an ascension process, both of you. Learning, expansion, transcending ego, preparing for union and a new phase. Some of you really did have to let go of this particular person in this particular life, in this particular body. It's not going to be for all of you. And now the other candle is out. Wow, that's just wild. Okay, hang on. The funny part is when I replace the candle, I can see in the camera that the new candle burns brighter because the wax hasn't melted yet. And I'm actually reusing candles that I used for personal, so they're already burnt down a bit. So it's almost like at one point they're going through this illumination process. Their light is brighter. Maybe they're even showier, brighter, attracting more attention. And then they go into this dark place and they go into this shadow work, and then you're brighter and you're kind of like the beacon for them and for others. And then you go into this shadow place. So there's like a massive death and a rebirth, and it almost feels like the flame has gone out on both sides at some point in this connection. What are my pile 3s learning? Girl with the snake and butterfly. Yes, some of you did have, this person could have been very, very manipulative, but the thing is, this is somebody who is evolving and transcending and has either transcended this life or has been learning these lessons. They are learning them. Pile 2's person, I would have to say, was so young, as far as either young in their soul or young in their body, where their lessons were, you know, they were still really struggling through them. But this person has gone into a very deep phase. This is a ascending, transcending, evolving connection. Okay? So you are overcoming, being charmed, being used. You are healing. You're evolving. Next phase and new phase. So some of you did have to move on from this person. And maybe you just wanted to know. This could have been like your abuser as a child or something for some of you. This is a very powerful reading, you guys. So whatever your circumstances, this particular person had to go from being like a megalomaniac, an ego-based, like ego-driven person, to balance their karma in this life. You met them, and their karma is being balanced in this life. Their higher self agreed to meet you and to go through this with you, to put them through a hermit phase. It could even be, I keep getting like lifetimes, like 13 lifetimes and 9 lifetimes. Like it's big energy. So your lesson is to let go of the past. And yeah, some of you, this is somebody famous who abused you, stuff like that. Wow, this is getting global. So I'm going to try to like rein it in. You know who you are. You know what happened to you. You're evolving. You're growing. You're transforming. You're ascending. You're expanding and you're transcending. And you've either found a life partner that can honor you, love you, who's aligned, who's balanced, who's done their shadow work. You either found that and you're asking about somebody from the past, or you and this person are in separation right now and you're both healing from all of this. And I do see reunion, either this life or another lifetime or on the other side, whatever feels aligned for you, or all three, is something that is here, because this is something that is ascending. You guys are moving up the ladder. You're awakening. Your chakras are opening. You're tapping into your intuition. And someone who was operating out of ego is truly seeing themselves for who they are and healing that part of themselves. And both of you are realizing that we all have shadows, we all have darkness, we all have pain, we all have suffering, and we all have something we need to transcend or ascend or evolve from. That nobody here is pure and innocent 100%. And the victim perpetrator roles that we play have to do with healing and balancing the energies on the planet and transcending the suffering of this realm. So it's like both of you are learning much bigger, much more like highly evolved type of lessons than just your basic, like, I'm learning not to chase this person. Although these lessons that are rooted in like everyday terms, relationship terms, and relationship dynamics are here, and that's the vehicle through which you learn the lessons. You guys are learning big stuff. You could both be like light workers, and you may have come to this planet to do some really big stuff. You could be healers, light workers, Reiki masters, shamans, whatever. But this person in this lifetime chose to go through ego first and then have to go through and learn the lesson and detach from their ego and heal and transcend and go back to a place of innocence. And it feels like you came into this life a little bit more like activated. Like in a way, this person chose the perpetrator role and you chose the victim role in this life. But it doesn't mean that you haven't taken turns playing the other role, or that either of you is purely in one or the other. But you're overcoming that kind of paradigm. Okay? What did pile 3's person come here to learn with this connection? What are their lessons? What are they learning, or what have they learned? Passion. Yeah, and this does feel like, wow, just that flame. Insane is coming through here too. This word insane. So this person could have been very passionate, very lustful, very egoic. They could have had a lot of eyes on them, or they could get their self-esteem or their value from their attractiveness. They could seek passionate connections in order to drain people of their life force because they didn't see their own value. They could have felt very empty inside. They're learning how to be balanced and to tame their passions. And this could be the evolved version of pile 2, actually. Yeah. Okay, what are they learning, or what lessons have they learned? Backstabbing. Yeah, this person did something. This person was learning a lesson in hurting others. They came here to, yeah, it's like your soul's agreed to this, but I also don't believe in victim shaming or saying like, well, you agreed to be abused. Like, I'm not, but on a spiritual level, I do have my spiritual beliefs about what our souls choose to go through. So, but it doesn't mean that anyone has a right to victimize anyone else, or that it doesn't make it right, okay? It doesn't make it right. But this person is learning lessons about their own deceptions. This person ended up isolated and alone because of their own deceptions. And we don't have a right to judge people or to attack them. We don't have a right to play God or to play the authority on someone else's shadow. And that's something human beings tend to do a lot. Like, you're wrong and you're bad because you have shadows. You're bad because you had an ego. You're bad because you expressed negative or toxic energy. You came out of your shadow or you hurt somebody. That is ego too. It's all ego. It doesn't make it right, but this is a pile where you are both learning humility, unconditional love, the ability to see people through the eyes and the lens of your higher self, which means that you are, this is reminding me of Sufism, and it's reminding me of Jeshua, it's reminding me of Jesus, it's reminding me of like seeing all the darkness in someone and still seeing the pure spark of life force and light and love that is underneath that. And this person is going through a huge lesson in transcending their ego in this life. And you were a catalyst. And they catalyzed you loving yourself, not placing yourself as a victim, empowering yourself, having boundaries, knowing what lasting love is, learning how to start over, allowing yourself to grieve, knowing that you can be reborn, that you can overcome anything, that happens to you, anything that's done to you, you've learned how to have a healthy balance of empathy and boundaries and scrutiny. So you're healing like codependency. Yeah, and here's Phoenix energy. Your person, both of you are in a new phase, okay? And rekindling, I had to relight these fires. Changed mind, rising from the ashes. This person went down into the underworld. They came into this life. Both of you came into this life to pull each other up and out. You have some very, very heavy stuff to rise again. This is the same thing, Scorpio energy, rising from the ashes, ascending. Healing from their own machinations. See these gears turning. Healing from their own machinations and learning how to express love. Yeah, you both, I heard something somewhere that like every painful, what is the term? People are crying out for love. Anything that isn't love is someone crying out for love. Everyone has a wounded inner child. And every soul has a purpose in this life. And it's either a call for love or it's an act of love. But love is the only thing that's real. All the rest of it is illusions and shadows. So, whoa, this is powerful. It's powerful stuff, you guys. Hello, squirrel. Okay, so what are you realizing? What have you realized from this connection? What is your awakening, your epiphany? Rest and recovery before restart. Some of you need to rest. Some of you need to recover. But that you are really good at like death and rebirth. You may have had multiple deaths and rebirths in this life. Some of you had to go into recovery, trauma recovery or addiction recovery. If you identify as someone who overcame a very heavy addiction in this life, you may benefit from watching Pile 1. Especially if you have multiple people that you're wanting to ask about the lessons that you learned as well. And look at these 2 candles here. I do feel like there's a deep level of forgiveness that is required for the 2 of you if you still feel that this is someone you could align with in this life. There is a deep level of forgiveness that I think you're realizing has to happen, but that you don't have to forgive and forget and just let someone walk all over you. That if someone has not done their inner work, that you don't have to put yourself in the line of fire is what I'm hearing. So you're learning when to rest and when to take action. Some of you are reading, writing, doing a lot of self-care, doing a lot of shadow work, and allowing yourself a lot of self-empathy, forgiveness, forgiving yourself. Fairy tales do exist. So, yeah, some of you are writing like a fairy tale novel, or you're realizing that true, healthy, beautiful love does exist. So some of you did find a new partner that you're really, really happy with. I am getting that feeling for some of you. But this is about nurturing and loving yourself, pampering yourself, creating your own beautiful life, finding stability within yourself, trusting your own intuition, trusting your heart, not giving up on the beautiful things in life, even if you've experienced a lot of pain, a lot of darkness. There's something about staying open, keeping your heart open. And you see the beauty in how this honed you, how this connection, like, it was like a blade, but like it cut away all of the dead and all of the, like, both of you have really, like, you're shining the other one up. Like, through pain. I mean, you chose to learn through pain in this connection, but it also, like, in order to experience love, you have to be willing to experience the extreme, and to understand what truly loving yourself or truly loving another person is. You also have to be willing to risk being cut open, that energy. But I think you're not someone who wants to give up on love, or you didn't give up on love. And some of you haven't given up on this person. You're like, I do believe that we can have beautiful love. I do believe that this person, the villain, can become a hero. I do believe that love wins. Okay, so what has your person realized or is realizing? Ready, willing, and able. They're realizing that they need to be ready, willing, and able to show up for you. Some of them are at that place where they are. Okay. And what are they realizing? Yeah, that they are mastering a karmic lesson around being ready, willing, and able to show up for somebody. Yeah, both of you are healing karma. Both of you are realizing that this, some of you do feel like this was a karmic connection. There's no shame in that. There's nothing wrong with that. All that means is that you're balancing out. So some of you are having very high vibrational, like very spiritual, you're doing healing around this. Maybe you're getting past life regressions, or you're getting information. You're going to seek out people who can give you a deeper, like helping you mirror back to you, like what this deeper lesson was. And you're seeing how everyone plays out karma in this world, in this realm. So it's allowing you to be unconditional. It's allowing you to detach and let this person master their lessons around being ready and able. There's a lot of forgiveness in your heart, it feels like. Or you've come to that place. You're starting to realize, like, I'm coming to that place of forgiveness. It does feel like most of you have learned to open your heart, open your mind, and you feel like there's a gift and a blessing in this experience. If you're watching this, if you're not feeling that way, you're going to get there. Okay. Yeah. This connection was meant to catalyze a dark night of the soul, and perhaps in both of you. Yeah. To balance your shadow and your light, that it was a very important part of your life. And some of you did some sort of detaching or gray rocking, and you're no longer harboring, or you're in the process of letting go of harboring any sort of judgment, hatred, or projections onto this person, even if they came from a very dark place and put you through a lot, because you're seeing this spiritual lesson for what it is. Ooh, these readings today have been wow. Okay, so anything that your person wants to say to you. I feel alone even when we're together, because this person struggles to love themselves without external validation, and now they have to be alone. This person is spending quite a bit of time alone, going through this death and rebirth. Let's rebuild what we lost. Cherry blossoms. Makes me think of my other channel, which right now I'm on pause because my energy is just not focused there. Yeah, there's something about these hands reaching out. Yeah. So this person wants you to know that they do want to rebuild whatever the two of you have lost, even if it's in another lifetime. Some of you, this person feels alone even when we're together, because you're literally connecting to them on another dimension because they crossed over. Yeah. Okay. And what do they want to say? Your warmth brings, your love brings warmth I never knew I needed. And also, I was going to say, your warmth brings love I never knew I needed. So this person has very warm feelings for you. It does feel like there's a desire to embrace, to touch, to connect. And yeah, there's a strong message that this person, for some of you, yeah, we're definitely channeling, and there's mediumship going on in this pile for some of you. My love is constant through highs and lows. Oh, wow. Yeah. I definitely feel crossed over loved ones now. My energy, as soon as I said mediumship, was just like, yes, is that what we're doing? Should we channel? But I don't feel fully trained enough to do it without this format. It might be something that I look into for myself. A brighter future awaits, and you are worth fighting for. Your person wants you to know that you are worth fighting for. Don't give up on yourself. And whether this person is in your immediate life right now, or they're on the other side, or you're both separated and going through some deep dark night of the soul or healing, they want you to know that you can do this, that they believe that the two of you can do this. Yeah. Whoa, I didn't even see that. Despite everything, I still believe in us. They believe in both of you. They want you to know that. And what deck are we using? Okay. Yeah, this person, they're having to face a lot of their shadows. So What do they want to say? I want to be different. I can't make you happy. They have to learn how to make themselves happy. Yeah. I can't make a decision. I wish to be like you. This person has a lot of admiration for you. Yeah. I do feel this is a strong energy. Like both of you are meant to be in these like not connected energies at this time, but spiritually you are connecting. My life is a mess right now. I cry at night. I am the man. So maybe this person struggles with like toxic masculinity, feeling like they struggle with control issues around their actions, the way that they're supposed to take action in this life, and the passion is too much. For some of you, there's an LGBTQIA plus message in here. Somebody's struggling with shame around that identity. That's a nod to that. Will this ever change? So yeah, this person's still doing the soul searching. They're still trying to pull themselves up and out of a dark place. Okay, and I'm hearing to get one more deck for you guys, because there's a little bit of a divided energy. So some of these aren't going to be from the crossed over person for some of you. We were always meant to meet. It was written in the stars. You have to be patient. I need space. I wish we could be together, but it's complicated. Now is not the time. And will you help me? Yeah, I think your souls agreed to help each other. Very much so. And it's such a deep love. It's such a deep, profound love that it could be very painful to experience something like this and know that at this time or in this lifetime that this isn't the way that you hoped it would be. Yeah, but they love you so much. This person loves you so much. There's such a profound love here. It takes a very deep, very profound, very unconditional love to go through this kind of thing with another soul. Yeah. So your advice is just going to be an angel card today on the confirmations plate, as I mentioned, and we're just going to do some quick confirmations. So we have 3, 2, and 1, and 6, because that flipped over. And we have 55 and 5, so 555. We have 11, 11, 8, 8, 8, the 1. So now we have 11 again. We have 2, 2, 2, 2, and 8, 8, 8, 8. So yeah, it does feel like most of you have felt like you've gone around with this soul multiple times, or you're starting to awaken to that fact. You're starting to realize that there's a really profound connection here, and that not every soulmate that we love unconditionally and have a deep connection with is like the soulmate that it's like, oh, everything's so happy and we're just blissful. Some of them teach us the most painful lessons, but those souls are literally the souls that love us the most, and it can be very hard to acknowledge that when we're coming from a human like ego or like logical mindset about these kind of situations. Okay, so we have G, V, I, C, O, U, U, so 2 of those, 3 of those, 4 of those, U. This could have been a connection where there was a lot of finger pointing too. Someone's struggling really, maybe both of you struggling to own your own stuff. So there's a lot of projecting onto you instead of I do this, I need to focus on this, I have to heal this. L, another G. Someone could have like an LG phone or TV, something like that. Also, and we have Z, R, E, D, M, another M, 2 N's, another E, A, and another E, and another L. I'm seeing Vic, Vicky, Victor. Someone may have OD'd. That's coming through here. Okay. I'm seeing the name Lee. I'm also hearing Ali. Yeah, okay. So there's that part of the confirmations, and let's get you an angel number for advice and to close out this reading. 1515. This was also in pile 1. So yeah, some of you do have messages in another pile. But yeah, this is a lot about overcoming the devil nature. So, you know, addictions, obsessions, attachments, all the dark, heavy the things that chain us to our corporeal vessel, and to suffering and to another person in some ways. So, creativity. Keep accessing the creative connection that you feel to the divine. The whispers speak through your creative connection, allowing you to express the beauty that is within you and connect you to the love that is around you. Creativity is my birthright. As I express my creativity, I feel a beautiful flow of love and connection. Some of you, if this person harmed you quite a bit, there's a message here to express the pain that this person put you through in a creative outlet, if you haven't already done that. And I'm hearing to read the back, since this was the advice in pile 1 as well. I want to get you guys something different. So 111 destiny. Follow what you feel. Listen as your intuition helps guide you to what you are manifesting. The inner whispers are helping you to create all that it is that you desire. Listen, lean in, and follow your soul. And that is what you're learning. You're learning to follow your heart and to follow your intuition, to trust yourself. Yeah. Life is always happening for me, right? Not to you. You're not the victim. Life is always happening for me. I am allowing myself to lean into what feels good, choosing what feels good instead of choosing what feels painful over and over again. Yeah. So this was a very powerful reading. If you like this or it was helpful, please do like, share, comment, subscribe, and hype. I do personals. My email's in the description. I appreciate you so much for being with me today, and giving you a big hug. This is a very intense energy here, very powerful. And thank you for your service to the planet, because a lot of you are like, really, you've been doing some pretty intense work on behalf of everybody here. So thank you. And I hope to see you again. Bye-bye.